So a few months ago, we changed our internet service provider. We have full fibre, but full fibre to some companies is different to what I think it is. So I switched to a company that does FTTP, fibre to the property, as opposed to fibre to a cab halfway down the street that's shared to the whole street. I have my own fibre line, and the upside of that is I've now got a synchronous connection rather than 1 gig download and 50 meg up. So I've now got a gig down and a gig up. Fantastic. This opens up a world of possibilities for running servers, and that's what we'll look at today. We're going to look at port forwarding on pfSense. So I have my trusty FreeBSD machine running running FreeBSD 13.2 release, and it's got a couple of packages installed, nothing out of the ordinary. So this one is running Nginx in my head is how I see it. I know it's Nginx, and it's running just one virtual server, the standard one, which is, where is it? There you go. It's listening on port 80, local host. I think you'll find it's probably tied to every IP address on this server. Anywho, so if we move over to Chrome, 87.11. There you go. Welcome to Nginx. Thank you for using Nginx. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So that's up and running. The problem is, I can't see that from the outside world. It's only on my local network via IP address. So how can I let the outside world see that? Well, let's take a look at that now, shall we? So if we go on to pfSense, we've logged in. Now you'll see that I'm actually running a beta version. This is still applicable on a standard version. And in pfSense, port forwarding is not named port forwarding under the NAT section. So we go to NAT, and there's no rules here. So we're going to add 2 just because I want to be a bit thorough. So we're going to add 1 for SSH so we can SSH from the outside world. I'm not going to discuss the implications of security. I know that's not a great idea, especially since this, and I'm going to take these off anyway as soon as I finish, but this SSH allows root to log in. Like I said, I'll be taking it out after. So don't put in the comments, you shouldn't be running. It doesn't matter. It's going soon. Right, so you click on add a new rule. And here, it shows a few bits. So under the protocol, I'm going to go TCP. Helps if you click the right one. And it's going to come from the WAN address and the destination port range. That's what we're going to look at. So we're going to go port 80. So this is where you can remap it from port 80 to 81 if you want to do that. You don't have to. And then the redirect target IP address. 148.87.11. And just to be thorough, we're going to put that in there as well. And a description. There we go. I'm going to come back to NAT reflection in a minute. And there's a reason for it. So what this is essentially doing is setting up a rule to allow traffic in when you type in www whatever, and you've got that IP, you've got that host pointed to this IP address. The firewall says, I know where that's supposed to go. It's supposed to go over here. Then it forwards the traffic. However, from inside the LAN, it just sort of hits the firewall and goes, I don't know what to do now. So we'll look at NAT reflection in a minute. We want it to reflect back in to the right place. So we'll look at that in a little while. So there we go. We're on a interface on the WAN. IP address is IPv4. Protocol is TCP. It's on the WAN address. A destination port range is 80. 280 to the IP address of 87.11, and we're just keeping that the same. Put in a description, click save. That's the rule created, but it's not applied yet. And pfSense is really good at this, because if you make a mistake in your rules and you want to just have a quick look at it and go, yeah, that's not quite right, it allows you to change it before you apply it. I know that's right, so we're going to apply. That's done. How do I know that's done? I can't test it from inside my network at the moment, because if I do that, what I'll get is a funny message from pfSense. Potential DNS rebind attack detected. However, if I do it from outside of my network on my phone, and just turn Wi-Fi off, it will work fine. There we go. Welcome to Nginx. So that's working lovely. So let's talk about NAT reflection then, because I'm still working this out myself. So pfSense NAT reflection. Let's have a look at what it says. So, available choices. There are 3 available choices for NAT reflection for port forwards. They are disable. NAT reflection will not be performed, but it may be enabled on a per rule basis. NAT plus proxy enables NAT reflection using a helper program to send packets to the target of the port forward. Or pure NAT enables NAT reflection using only NAT rules in PF to direct packets to the target of the port forward. It has better scalability, but it must be possible to accurately determine the interface and the gateway IP address used for communication with the target at the time the rules are loaded. There are no inherent limits to the number of ports other than the limits of the protocols. Okay, if servers are on the same subnets as clients, the enable automatic outbound NAT for reflection option will mask the source of the traffic so it flows properly back. Automatic outbound reflection. So let's have a look at that then. So we'll go to Advanced Firewall and NAT, Network Address Translation, which is probably where we were. Advanced Firewall and NAT, and what's it called? Enable Automatic Outbound NAT for Reflection. Let's see where it is. Double tick that. Automatic creation of additional NAT redirect rules from within the internal networks. We'll have that as well. And we've got this set to pure NAT, which I think is the one we want. So let's apply that. Let's go back to our NAT rule. Now the system default, as you saw, was pure NAT anyway, but I'm going to change it to pure NAT here. Apply that. It should now be working. Let's see what happens. I get a funny feeling it's probably just going to say the same thing. Yeah, but it might be cached. So let's close it and let's test that again. Yeah, it's still doing it. So the question is why? Love playing around with this. So let's have a look at that. I mean, there is another way that we could do this, and we could do this with DNS. But we're not going to. We're going to stick to NAT and see where we go. So pfSense NAT reflection, and we want to put in potential DNS rebind. Okay. So how do we turn that off? To exclude a domain from DNS rebinding protection, use the custom options box in the DNS resolver settings. So where's that? Custom options box in the DNS resolver settings. So where is it then? Custom options box. I didn't see a custom. Oh, there it is. Right. Okay. So what do we want to put in there? That. Right. Well, I'm going to blank out this domain because I don't think you really need to know that. Let's save that. Let's see if that works, because I don't know if this is going to work. So, what I'd done, I'd messed up a bit. There's a web GUI redirect rule here. So this may have worked without me even worrying about NAT reflection because it was already set as a default. So essentially what I had enabled was the web configurator redirect rule, which allows traffic to the firewall on port 80 and it redirects it to the port that you've actually got the web configurator running on. Disable that rule, it works fine. So just to prove that, let's, yeah, see, think smarter, not harder. It is early, well, early-ish. So there we go. So that's port forwarding in a nutshell.
Help! I'm in a nutshell!
And it works lovely, gotta say. So I'm going to just very quickly run through setting up another one. And this will be for port 22, which is SSH. As we know, that was what I said before. So that will be, again, TCP, port 20, port 20, 7.11, port 20, allow SSH port forwarding, and apply. So what we'll do is we will quickly log into my remote host. There we go. There's my remote host. Let's change these settings so you can actually see what I'm doing. And what we're going to do is we're just going to SSH back in. So well, now that's interesting because this did work the other day when I tested it out. It's just not working now. Why is that then? Did we get something wrong? Well, it helps if you use the right blinking port number, doesn't it, Gary? Try that again, shall we? Okay, so we're logged into my... Oh, no. We're logged into my remote host and we're going to SSH back into my little PC down there. There we go. So if you notice, that is the same as my other PuTTY session, which is local root at test. Root at test. So that's really all there is to it. You set up the redirection rule. In NAT, you choose the version of NAT reflection that you want. Once you've done that, make sure that your configurator's not got a redirect rule for any port, and you're good to go. This is brilliant. This is exactly what I wanted. And now I can actually bring my remote server back here, which is what I wanted to do a few months ago, and I will be doing soon. I hope you find this useful, and if you do, please do give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Quite like reading them. I'm so sorry that I'm not on top of replying at the moment. Things are just a bit chaotic at the moment. I will start replying as soon as I can. I know I've got a backlog, a massive backlog, but I will start replying to them again soon. Click subscribe to get notifications of when I next release a video. It's usually one a week, sometimes more if I make a bit of a cock up. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. See you later.